in from Maharashtra. Now, a massive scoop ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meeting with President Joe Biden. They're likely to announce a deal on the sale of armed drones to India. So that's the inside scoop coming from the deliberations in the build-up to that bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Joe Biden. This is, of course, related to what we believe is the Predator drone deal, the acquisition of as many as 31 of these drones. Let me go across to Rishabh for more on this. Rishabh, tell us about what your sources are telling you about this deal, which many hoped would materialize during this bilateral meeting.
So, well, so that there are two defense deals that we are looking at between India and United States. One will be government-to-government deal, where India will be purchasing MQ-9 Predators. 31 MQ-9 Predators is what we are being told, that India will buy 15 for Indian Navy and 8 each for Indian Army and Indian Air Force. Apart from that, what the news is coming in that, and this is a bit significant news for India per se, that in HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, has signed an MOU while Prime Minister is in United States with General Electric, and both these companies, HAL and GE, will be co-producing jet engines in India. Remember, GE 414 engine that can power India's light combat aircraft, indigenously made light combat aircraft, which is again the Tejas, now will be produced here in India, and this is something that is very, very significant. What we know that GE's F414 engine now will be produced here in India after this MOU between General Electric and Hindustan Aeronautical Limited. So this is something that is very, very significant. There have been talks about that. What will India gain apart from buying something? India is gaining technology for F414 engines that now will be indigenously produced here in India.
And Rishabh, this is, of course, very much in line about Atmanirbharta. That's been the dominant theme, even as far as defense manufacturers is concerned. Yes, there's cooperation on the technological front, but what this deal does is that it enables indigenous defense manufacturing in India too.
Definitely. See, if you see, there is a trade imbalance in US and India, and there's no denying to that. But you know, with this deal, and there are many such deals that is in offering. This is what the Foreign Secretary also mentioned when he was briefing media ahead of Prime Minister's visit, that it is a long-term association that we are looking at. The deals that will be signed today will not only be the deliverables that will come out with this visit to United States. There will be a long-term discussions on various deals, and that is the reason that we are looking at it. Now, as you mentioned, yes, this MOU that has been signed between GE and HAL will now enable India to start producing jet engines in India. This is one set of jet engines, which is F414 General Electrics. But this will enable HAL to learn from this technology and enable Indian companies to start manufacturing engines that will be indigenously made and can be used by Indian Armed Forces or other companies, as well as export to other countries.
In fact, Rishabh, stay with us, because the CEO of GE Aerospace, Mr. Lawrence Culp, has actually released a statement. He says, our F414 engines are unmatched and will offer important economic and national security benefits for both countries as we help our customers produce the highest quality engines to meet the needs of their military fleet. This would, of course, Rishabh, also require authorization on the part of the US government, because you said this is at a preliminary stage right now. It's an MOU between HAL and GE. The export authorization still needs to come from the US government.
You see, the company-to-company deal is done, and now the governments will be involved. Given that there is a defense deal, both the governments will need to be involved, and that's the reason that we are now looking at 23rd, which is tomorrow, for Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Joe Biden joint press conference as well. What we expect in this press conference, that both the governments will announce this deal formally, and our sources suggest that all the groundwork has been done, and this has been in talks for almost 6-7 months since the whole paperwork between both the companies were happening. And now, since the GE and HAL has signed the MOU, now this will go for further authorization to both the governments. And what we now are hearing, that both the leaders, Joe Biden from United States and Narendra Modi from India, will be announcing this deal once they come in front of camera tomorrow for a joint statement.
Yes, this is a very important part of the LCA MK2 program with General Electric has actually been involved with very closely. And Rishabh, like you rightly said at the beginning of this conversation, this is one of two very significant deals that are clearly on the table during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit. Well, let me, in fact, get an expert perspective on this. Wing Commander Praful Bakshi is now joining us. Wing Commander, sir, how do you see this MOU that's now been signed between HAL and GE on the defense manufacturing of LCAs in India and the transfer of technology on that front? How significant is this?
Thank you very much. This is a very good news, as you say. I personally feel the transfer of technology for GE 414 as well as for the drones, it augurs very well. But let me tell you one thing, that everybody is quite surprised as to why India is going to is getting these technology. What will America gain out of it? America wants India because for geopolitical and strategic reasons. That is for sure. America knows that in the South China Sea and Indo-Pacific area, if anybody can control China against allies or small IOR countries which are pro-America for their interest's sake, it's India only. So, and India has got its own grudge against China. And at this moment, India is becoming a very, very economically progressive nation with a strong policy and its very strong stand, strong economy. So it looks like a natural ally that America has picked up in India. And India, weakness America knows. It says, I can meet the requirements of India. India has got indigenization programs coming up. So I can help him. India wants engine, I can help him. But when America helps us, let me tell you one thing. America will gain what's out of it also. It is not America, we are going to gain. We will be making these engines in this area. We will get the license to supply it to other countries which are depending on F-18 and all other aircraft for which engines probably we will make or the spare parts we will make. So we will be, in a way, able to help the supply chain of America in this region. And so that China may not come up. I will tell you, there was a time when European countries were so rampant in these areas to modernize the area that Chinese Air Force was modernized by French and Italian Air Forces. The MiG-19s were upgraded to A5 and F6. By Italians and French.
Okay.
So this aspect is absolutely clear. America does not want this opportunity to go away. America will take India's help. It will give us the drones. It will give us the thing. And let me tell you one thing. A drone technology is not that big a technology as we have made out of it.
Okay.
India can make the drone. Our policies were not there to make these equipment. In fact, our policies are very passive policies. We have changed our policy, and now you'll see if we can make spacecraft, if we can make the missiles, why can't we make this? It will be no problem for us.
Okay, many thanks, Wing Commander Bakshi.